Brief.
The judgment in the case of assault against former Old Kampala Police Station Commander Joram Mwesigye was earlier set to be read out at 9 a.m., but it was read at 3 p.m. Mwesigye was convicted for assaulting and causing grievous bodily harm to journalist Andrew Lwanga, who was then working for the now defunct WBS television. Mwesigye had also been accused of causing malicious damage to the property of other journalists while quelling a protest in Bakuli, a Kampala suburb, on 12 January 2015. Buganda Road Magistrate Kamasenyu read the verdict to a fully packed courtroom. She said based on the evidence submitted in court, Lwanga was indeed unlawfully assaulted and beaten twice before he was struck on the head with a stick. She said based on the evidence presented by 3 of the prosecution witnesses and video footage, there was no justification for beating Lwanga, who was doing his work as a journalist and was not part of the protesters. On the second and third counts of causing malicious damage to property, which included 2 video cameras belonging to journalists and tearing a khaki trouser, court found that the evidence submitted was not compelling enough to convict Mwesigye. The prosecution had asked the court to give Mwesigye a deterrent sentence of not less than 5 years imprisonment, while Lwanga appealed to court to order that he is compensated the $65,000, approximately 230 million shillings, that he has so far used for treatment since he was injured, and yet he is not fully back on his feet. But the magistrate sentenced Mwesigye to pay a fine of 1 million shillings or face a 1-year jail term. She also ordered him to pay Lwanga 5 million shillings as compensation.
The said compensation of 5 million, since the accused is not getting a salary, not actively employed now, shall be paid to the complainant by the accused person in not more than 30 days from now.
Lwanga and human rights activists were not happy with the judgment and have vowed to appeal the sentence and conviction.
If one is willing to beat you up because you publicize a story that is on him and he knows that he will pay you, I mean, what is 5 million? Yeah, that is to them, that is pocket change.
So that's an insult to the journalists who are suffering so much at the expense of errant officers. We think that we must appeal against the 2 areas on which he's been acquitted, that is malicious damage to property, and also appeal against the...
Andrew Lwanga was beaten as he covered a protest in January 2015 for his media house WBS TV. A group of youths from the Jobless Brotherhood were holding a demonstration protesting what they said government's failure to create jobs for the youth. Suhail Mugavi, NTV Weekend Edition.